Hello, 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 guys. Good evening, everyone. How are you today?
Hi,
Hello, teacher.
teacher. Fine. What about you?
Hello. Good, Danny. I missed you yesterday. What happened?
Yes, teacher. Sorry, we had a meet
A meeting?
because the boss
Yeah.
was the birthday of my boss. So
Oh, so you have like a
we were
celebration.
in celebration.
Okay, got it. Yeah, no, I missed you
But I
yesterday.
am here now.
That's good. That's good. Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome Ana, Angelica, Daniela, Freddy, Harold, Natalie, and Sarai. So my people, welcome to our session. Today is Thursday, June the 15th, and today we're having our fourth class of the cycle. So we are, well, how is the week going so far? How is everything? Before we start, and then we give some time for the rest of the students to join the session. How is everything? How is the week going so far?
All is good, teacher.
All's good, everything's good. Okay, that's awesome. Do you have any plans for the weekends? We're having Father's Day. Do you have any plans?
No, teacher, I'm thinking in
No,
that
teacher.
now.
You're like,
Because
oh my goodness.
in the past years I didn't celebrate that in this year. Yes, so like, oh my god,
Oh,
because this
yeah.
year I start talking with my dad and it's like, oh my god, what I'm supposed to do? It's
I'm
so
new to
strange.
this. What am I supposed to do?
Yes, it's like, oh my god, this day is important. What can I go?
Well, maybe, yeah, you have some days to plan something for your dad, maybe like something not that big, but not that small, just like maybe you
I was
can,
thinking in a photograph or something like that, like when I
yeah, that would be nice. That would
think
be
that's
nice.
so cute.
Yeah, that would be nice. Or you can, make a breakfast for him. That's what I do with my dad.
I didn't live with him, so it's like, oh my god, I 21 and I right now can pay something.
No, yes. So I do well with my dad this year. I am going to take him to some towns. We're going to Warichara, we're going to San Gil, and we're going to Guane. I think that's the name. So I am going with my dad, with my family, and then with my some relatives, and that's what we're doing. I mean, I'm really excited because I've never gone to Barichara, so it's gonna be my first time, and it's gonna be such a great day, and we're gonna celebrate Father's Day there. So it's gonna be our first time there, and actually my dad's dad, he was from Barichara, so it's gonna be like very exciting, I'm sure, for him to be in his dad's land, and it's gonna be like, I'm sure, very special for my dad. So yeah, so I'm pretty excited about the weekend and about Sunday, because we're
Oh
gonna
my god,
celebrate.
that is so perfect. Like, oh my god, how many time did you take that for that?
Yeah. So that was my dream. Like, honestly, it was my dream. I always wanted to go to Warichara, and I was like, oh my God, like, when am I going to do it? And then I found the perfect moment, and I'm gonna take my dad to that town. And I'm gonna take my family. And I'm sure it's gonna be very special for my dad, because he was very close with my granddad. My granddad passed away like when I was born, right before I was born. So yeah, like 27 years ago, like he's gonna be 28 in October. Like he passed away in October in 1895. So it's gonna be very special for my dad to be there, because it was where my granddad was born. So it's gonna be a special, I'm sure, and he's gonna love it. So I'm very excited about it. So my people, I really hope that you give me 1 second, please. Give me 1 second. Okay, so sorry, I'm back. I had a crying baby, so but now she's gone. So people, today we are having our fourth class, and the agenda for today is we're going to begin with the warming up activity about bird cards. We're going to start with that task. Then we're going to work on the book on page 79, and we're on page 79. And we're gonna do a group practice because we're going to clarify some doubts about gerunds and infinitives. Then we're going to work on the word spot about just, and then we're gonna have a word break, and after the break we are going to do a reading exercise, and that's it. That's gonna be our class today. So we're going to begin with a game that is, I mean, it's kind of like a speaking activity. I'm going to upload it on your drive. So just give me 1 second. I will upload it, and then I will explain the task. Okay. Can you see my screen now? Can you guys see my screen, right? Okay, very good. So here we have verb cards, and we're going to get in groups. And we are going to review this topic about infinitives and ing forms. So we are going to review this. I'm going to send you to the breakout rooms. You are going to choose any of the cards like randomly. You can start, for example, let's say that in my group it's Sarai, Natalie, Andrea, and Angelica, and me. And then I am going to choose any card from here, like any random card. And I'm going to say, for example, I never leave the house without taking a shower, okay? Or I never leave the house without putting on makeup, something like that. Or I can think of a better way to relax than listening to music, instead of saying than to listen to music, than listening to music. So the idea is that you take a look, you analyze the verb, and then use either infinitive or ing. Okay, so we're going to begin with that task, with that activity. And then after this, we're going to do some extra practice related to infinitives and ing forms. So we have a verse like I can't stand, I have recently started, the economic situation appears. So we're going to see how well you can identify the uses of infinitives or the uses of ing forms, okay? Like for example, I don't expect something, and then you complete the sentence, and in that way you are going to share your ideas. You're going to talk about what about yourself, and then I'm going to be visiting the groups, and that's it, and we're coming back to the session. Okay, is it clear? So it's kind of like it's a listening activity, but at the same time you are going to review this topic about infinitives and ing forms. Is the activity clear, guys?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, very good. Then once I finish with my card, the next person in the group, it does it. So for example, in my group, it's Sarai, Natalie, Andrea, and Angelica. So I finish and I say, okay, I can think of a better way to relax than taking a bath and listening to your favorite music. Okay, I'm done. Then it's Sarai's turn. Sarai says, okay, I have recently started, and then she completes the sentence with her own information. Okay. And then when Sarai finishes, the next person takes a word and does the same thing. So that will be, let's say, Natalie. So Natalie chooses any of the cards, like any of them. And that's it. So it's going to be a speaking task. And then we are going to practice infinitives and ing. So I shared the folder, the Google Drive folder. I also allowed you to share a screen. So you can share a screen, one person per group shares a screen. And that's it, guys. I'm going to send you to the breakout rooms, and that's how we're going to start our session. I'm going to create 3 groups, and then if more people join our class, I am going to send them to the groups. So we are going to have Brian, Daniela, Jennifer. Okay, group number 1, 5, 5, and 5 people per group. So please join the session. Hello, Anna. Do you have a group?
Hello, teacher. Sorry, I have some problems with my
No,
internet.
it's okay.
Yes, group number 2.
Number 2. Okay, I'm going to send it to group number 2. And then hello, John. So I'm going
I'm sorry for being so late.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I understand. So I'm going to send you to one of the groups, okay? Your classmates are working in one short activity, so now you can join. Hello. So they are in the breakout rooms, but they'll be back shortly.
What
So,
do you mean by shortly?
so I would say
10 minutes,
I
15
would
minutes.
say in 10 minutes. Yeah, I would say like
I came here because in Sandy's group, they are in breakout rooms.
Mhm.
And she said, in 5 minutes. And I was like, no, I'll be back. So now
now you're like, okay, what am I supposed
I have
to do?
to wait. I have to wait a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
I'll enter her group again and I'll be back in 20, no, in 25 minutes,
Okay.
half an hour.
Okay, sure. Okay, awesome.
Bye, bye, bye. Ana Velasco is there. Bye, bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. Thank you. Hello, Christian. So your classmates are in the breakout rooms. We will finish this activity in like 4 minutes. So still I'm gonna send you to the breakout room so that you see what they're doing. And then we're coming back, okay? In like 4 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, peeps. So how was the activity? Was it hard? Was it difficult? Was it confusing? Was it easy? What do you think about the topic? No words, no comments.
It was good, teacher, but I think that maybe when I did the examples, I don't too much in the grammar. Maybe it's like more naturally that I think maybe the sentence in
Yeah. So it's like you have this already learned because you have seen these verb patterns in conversations, in
yes.
reading. Yeah. So, I mean, there is nothing like grammatically new here because actually when we learn verbs, when we're learning verbs, we need to learn them in context. So for example, if you learn the verb want, right? So you learn it in like context. When you say I want to learn, I want to do, I want to, so you always learn these patterns and then you're like, oh, so one always goes with want to. You know, those are the things that we need to start when we are learning verbs, that we need to learn the verbs, but not just learning them by heart, but just learning them in context, because actually there is like no new grammar here. These topic about ing, or I mean gerunds or infinitives, there is no rule, like there is no specific rule to learn that. Like sadly, there is no rule that we say, okay, so the regular verbs are always used with infinitives and irregular verbs are always used with ing forms. Like there is no such rule. So that's why this topic can be, you know, a little bit problematic for some. But it's not, I mean, it's just a matter of practice. So we are going to start. I am going to show you this part of the book that we were working on yesterday. We're working on last night. So we're going real quick in this part, then we're going to watch the video, and then we're going to do some extra practice related to this topic. Let me open the book here. Okay, so let's get it started. Let's talk about infinitives and ing forms. So this is a lot of information. We're going to focus on the most important parts. And the general thing that we need to know, or that we already know, is that every sentence must have a main verb. And in addition, many sentences have infinitives, with or without to, right? And gerunds, or present participles, that is the ing form. These occur in a number of different positions in the sentence, but they're not the main verbs except if they're part of a modal verb. For example, we're going to see some examples. So as the subject of the sentence, we have parking around here has become more and more difficult. After the main verb, we have I never expected to what? To win. After an adjective, the results of the election is impossible to predict. After a noun, we didn't have any trouble. So trouble is the noun. So any trouble finding our way here. After a preposition, without, so without seeing all the evidence, I don't want to comment. And as a clause, Marina stared out of the window, not even trying to concentrate. So this is something like general. We can find infinitive forms or ing forms as a subject, as after the main verb, after an adjective, after a noun, after a preposition, as a clause. Now, the ing forms can be gerunds or present participles, okay? If the ing form functions as a noun, it is a gerund. If it functions as a verb, it is a participle, okay? So let's see. Walking is one of the best forms of exercises. So here walking is acting as a noun. So it's working here as a gerund. For example, when we say drinking water is important for your health, sleeping early is beneficial for your health as well. Studying hard for your exams can help you a lot. Or working out is a great way to stretch your body, something like that. So all these ing forms can be used as a noun, and that is acting as a gerund. Okay. For example, or another example, who's that man walking towards us? So if it's functioning as a verb, then it's the participle. Okay. So who is that man walking towards us? So that is the main verb. Like, who is the man walking towards us? That is a participle. It's not the gerund, it's a participle. So infinitives and ing forms can be found in the affirmative and negative forms. So we have infinitive, try to hurry; negative, trying not to drop it. He seems to be doing well. He seems to have done well. To be, to have, he seems to have been doing well. I want to be told the truth. I would like to have been told earlier. Okay, like to have, to be, to hurry, not to. And then the ing form, we have telling him was silly. Negative, not telling him was silly. Without having done it, I prefer being told the truth, and she's angry about it having been deceived. Okay, so we can find it in affirmative and in negative forms in many different tenses. Now let's talk about infinitives and ing forms after adjectives. So let's see what happens with the infinitives or with the ing form. Yes, Diana.
Sorry, I don't know if it's me, but I can't listen to you.
Oh, guys, can you hear me well?
I want to check.
Okay. What about the rest? Can you hear me?
But I don't know if it was my computer, but I feel that your volume goes up, goes down, sorry. I don't know why.
I can hear
Oh,
you well.
But I don't know if it was my PC. So
okay. What about the rest? Like Freddy, what do you say?
I can
Sorry?
hear you well, teacher.
You can
Yeah,
hear
I
me
mean,
well?
good sound, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's the connection for some
Teacher,
people.
it was like a minute.
Oh,
When
like
you
it wasn't like everything that I have said. No?
Yes,
It's like,
I can listen
I mean, I could hear
maybe
you
for a
well.
minute.
oh, okay. What about now? Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let's try. Let's try. If that happens, let me know so we can see like what's going on, okay? But thank you for letting me know. So let's see what happens with infinitives and ing form after adjectives. So adjectives are normally, like not always, but normally or frequently, followed by an infinitive. For example, the situation is likely to get worse. So likely to get worse. Or extremely difficult. Difficult is the adjective, to understand. Okay, so normally, or most of the times, we use adjectives. We use infinitive after adjectives. But then there is also an exception. There are some exceptions like busy and worth. These are exceptions because they're always followed by the ing forms. Yes, they are adjectives, but that's an exception. So that's why we say are normally, because we cannot say that this is a general thing like always, but normally. Okay, so Gian was busy not to do, but busy doing. Okay, so busy doing his homework when I phoned. Or we believe that is a risk worth taking, not worth to take. Okay, so after busy, after worth, we use ing. And
Teacher, I'm sorry.
yes, John.
Just with those adjectives,
Yes,
busy and
there
work.
are some exceptions. Yes, and those are examples of
But
those exceptions. But normally, or with
normally,
the majority of adjectives, we use ing. But there are some like exceptions, not a lot, but just like some cases in which is different. Okay.
Yes, teacher. But in this case, question is are there more than busy and work
Jen was
following
busy.
the
Yeah,
ING?
yes. I mean, there are like some other cases, but I can't think of one right now. I will give you more examples as soon as one example comes to my mind. Okay.
Okay, teacher. I got it.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Of course. Some adjectives can be followed by an infinitive or a preposition plus ing form. Okay. But pay attention to this part. The infinitive tends to refer, we're still talking about adjectives, okay? But with the infinitive tends to refer to a particular occasion or situation, and the ing form to a more general feeling. So remember that yesterday, right before we finished our class, you guys were doing, I think it was yesterday, it was last night, that you guys were doing an example of like the difference in meaning between two sentences, like a pair of sentence, one using ing and other using gerund. I'm sorry, infinitive and other using gerund. So we're going to see when after, like, some adjectives can be followed by an infinitive or a preposition plus the ing, because this refers to a particular occasion, and then with ing form to a more general feeling. For example, the old lady was afraid to cross the busy road. So afraid, we have an adjective, but then we have to cross with the infinitive. And in this case, she's unwilling to do something particular because of fear. So the old lady was afraid to cross the busy road, so she asked the man to help her. That was in that particular situation. We don't know if this is something general, like we don't know if she's always like afraid of crossing roads, but in that particular situation, she was afraid to do something, afraid to cross. She was afraid to call her mom. Maybe she's not afraid all the time, but she was afraid in that particular moment because she knew that her mom was upset about something, so she was afraid to do something. Okay, so afraid to with the verb, it means a particular occasion. Now, let's see the other one. My granny is afraid of being robbed, so she always keeps her money in a money belt. So with the preposition plus ing, it means that this is something in general. So my granny is afraid of being robbed. Like this is something general, like she's always afraid of something, okay? Is it clear? Is this example clear?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, very good. Now there can be other differences in meaning too. I was so anxious about making a mistake that I could hardly say a word. So in this case, anxious about making, this anxious means worried. Okay, so I was so worried about making a mistake that I could hardly say a word, or I was so anxious. And then we are very anxious to come to an agreement as soon as possible. So like keen here, it means like we are like excited or anxious or about to come to an agreement as soon as possible. Okay. Good. It's good to see you again. That means it's pleasant to see you again. Or I was never good at remembering names. That means good at, it's clever at something. I'm good at drawing, I'm good at cooking, I'm good at writing, I'm good at talking. Okay, that means clever at something. I'm sorry to interrupt, but would you mind explaining again? So I'm sorry to interrupt. It means regret about something that we're doing or we are about to do. I'm sorry to say this. I'm sorry to interrupt the party. I'm sorry to cancel your plans. So when I say sorry to, and then the following verb, it means that I regret something that I am about to do or I'm about to say. I'm sorry for losing my temper last night. It means apologizing for an early action. So I apologize for what I did yesterday. I mean, I know it wasn't like the best behavior, so I'm sorry for that. Okay, so there can be differences in meaning, so we need to be, you know, careful there, because with an ing or with with the infinitive, it can have a different meaning. Okay, good. Now let's say nouns with infinitive and ing forms. Many nouns are commonly followed by an infinitive. So again, are commonly, we cannot say that always, but commonly followed by an infinitive. Like when we say there are no plans to replace. So what is the noun here? Plans. And after that noun, we are using an infinitive. Plans to replace existing town hall. It's time to take a long, hard look on our financial situations. So what is the noun here? Time. And then we are using infinitive. Time to, plans to. But also other nouns are followed by an ing form or a preposition plus the ing form. So what is, let's see these two examples. There is no hope of finding any more survivors now, or we had no problems finding accommodation. Okay, so nouns are commonly followed by infinitive, but there are some other nouns that are followed by an ing form or a preposition plus ing. Now guys, again, is there a rule to know when we use infinitive, when we use ing forms? Sadly, there is not. Like, there is no particular rule to say when we use infinitive, when we use ing. Sorry. Okay, sorry. So this is something that we need to you know, like start, maybe like Diana said at the beginning, this is something that she already knew, because whenever like she reads, or when she's having a conversation, or maybe it's something that she learned by heart, or it's something that she has seen so many times, so she does it like without even thinking about it. Okay, but sometimes we are like, oh, okay, so should I use infinitive? Should I use ing? So this is why we need to have this kind of examples and explanation. But again, we don't have like a specific rule to say like, okay, all the verbs or all the nouns that are, for example, nouns that are countable or nouns that are uncountable, they take ing or they take the infinitive form, or verbs that are regular take the ing, or irregular they take the infinitive. Like, there is no particular rule. Okay, so I don't know if you looked at the PDF that I sent this afternoon with some verbs that are usually followed by the infinitive and some verbs that are usually followed by the ing forms. So take a look at that as well, because I am like always sharing like information that I find useful for you. So let's take a look at that as well. Let's go with infinitives. Verbs with infinitives and ing form. So what we just said, verbs plus the infinitive. So many verbs are followed by to plus infinitive. So the police attempted to break up the demonstration, or the economic situations appears to be. It always depends on these first verbs. Siempre va a depender de este primer verbo, chico, always. Okay. And then, as I said at the beginning, it's not possible to know when to use if that verb works with infinitive, or if that verb works with the ing. Okay, so that's why it's important to learn the verbs in context. Some verbs can have an object before the infinitive. Verbs like include want, ask, beg, expect, help, need, would like. For example, I want to go home, or I want you to go home. Okay, so I can use an object. Remember that the object is what receives the action. So I want them to go home. I want us to leave the party. Ask them to do the homework. Ask the students to answer the questions. Okay, so we can place an object before the infinitive. Okay. Other verbs must have an object, okay? That is important to have always an object. Verbs like advise, order, remind, allow, forbid, invite, encourage, permit, teach, force, persuade, tell. There are way more, okay? There are more verbs, but these are just examples. So politicians, you are urging people to vote. So urging people. People is the object of the sentence. So we always need, after these verbs, we need an object to receive the action. The police have warned who? Have warned people to be careful. We cannot simply say the police have warned to be careful. Have warned who? So we need an object there, okay? So there are some verbs that they need an object. Now, verbs plus the bare infinitive. A small number of important verbs take a bare infinitive. That means an infinitive without preposition to. Most important are modal verbs and semi-modals, okay? But we, like, for example, when I say should, we don't say I should to do. No, never. I say should do, or should call, should watch, should study. Need, no, sorry, must. I never say I must to do, I must to study. No, never. I always use the bare infinitive. So I say you must study for the tests. They must finish work tonight. I will to travel. No, I will travel. So I always use the infinitive, but the bare infinitive for the majority of modals. Okay, there is an exception, like the modal verb ought, but because we always use it with ought too, but it's because it's part of the modal verb, but that is just an exception. Also with other, we also use the bare infinitive after let, make, would, rather, had, better. Okay, for example, I say yes, John.
Help, teacher.
Sorry.
With help también.
With what? What do you say?
We also with help.
Help?
Also with help. Can you help me take this?
Yes.
With help.
Yes. So there are some other verbs. Yes, exactly, Don. So for example, I think we had better leave, not to leave. With better leave, or please don't let him upset you, not to upset you. Okay. So we use the bare infinitive here. And the bare infinitive can also be used with verbs of perceptions like see, watch, hear, feel. Notice the difference in meaning with the infinitive and ing form. So we heard with the verb here. So we heard the children sing the national anthem, and we heard the children singing the national anthem. So the first one is with the infinitive. We heard the children sing, and the other one is with the with the ing. So we heard the children singing. So with the first one, when I say we heard the children sing the national anthem, we mean the whole song. So we heard the children sing that song. And we heard the children singing the national anthem. So it means, like, it can mean like part of the song, maybe not the whole thing. Oh, we heard the children singing. So it means that they were doing that at some point. Maybe we arrived late, or we were doing something else, and then we just heard like a part of it. So part of the song or the progress of something. Now let's see when we use verbs with the ing form. Some verbs are usually followed by an ing form or a preposition plus the ing form. For example, it's time to stop worrying and start living. Okay, I would like to apologize for causing so much trouble. So here we have the verb stop, and then immediately the ing form of the verb. Okay, so stop worrying, start living. Okay, after a stop, after a start. But then we can also find the verb plus a preposition and then the ing. Apologize for, and then causing, not for to cause, or apologize to cause. No, apologize for causing so much trouble. A number of verbs take an object plus preposition plus ing, like accuse, suspect somebody of, condemn, blame, criticize, forgive, punish, thank somebody for, discourage, prevent, stop somebody from, congratulate somebody on. Okay. So for example, the police suspect Atkins of dealing in illegal arms. So again, we have the verb suspect or suspect, and then the object of the sentence, that means Atkins, the person here. So the police suspect Atkins of doing something. So of, then the preposition of, and then the ing, of dealing with illegal arms. I don't blame who. So I need the object there. I don't blame you for being angry. And then in the passive form, in the passive, the preposition comes directly after the verb. This is common in newspaper reports, okay? So Atkins is expected of dealing in illegal arms, okay? That's it. Okay, people, and then to finish with this part, we have verb plus to plus infinitive, or the verb plus to plus ing, okay? So let's see. Plus to plus infinitive or ing form, verb plus ing form. A small number of verbs can take both an infinitive or an ing form, okay? But for some verbs, the infinitive is used to look forward and the ing form to look backwards. So remember, yesterday when we were doing the activity about remember to do something and remember doing something. So in the first one, it was to talk about, remember to lock the door. Like, don't forget to do something. Remember to close the windows. So before you leave your house, please, or remember to do something. And then when I use it with ing, it's because I'm thinking about like the past. Oh, I remember visiting my grandparents at the farm, or I remember calling my sister yesterday. So I remember I did something. So we need to be careful because when we use either the ing or the infinitive, like the meaning can be different. So for example, I remember to book the tickets. I remembered to book the tickets. So I didn't forget to do that. Oh, I remembered to do that. Or I remember meeting him. So I have a memory of it. Okay. So I remember that I did something in the past. We must stop to get some petrol. So it means to stop for a purpose. Or Dad stopped smoking. It means he doesn't do it now. Like he quits smoking. He stopped doing something. I regret to tell you that the performance has been canceled. So I regret something I am about to tell you. Like, I'm so sorry to tell you this. Or I regret leaving her. It means a regret of something in the past. Okay. Also with verbs like love, hate, like, we can also use the ing. Like normally the ing is preferred in British English, but the infinitive is also common in American English. So after would like, the infinitive is always used, okay? But with like, we can use ing or we can use the infinitive. But after would like, always the infinitive. For example, I can say, I love dancing. I love to dance, okay? So I love dancing is more British, but we can also use it in American English. And in American English, it's more common to say, I love to dance. And the verbs start and begin can be used with either or without any change of meaning. Like I started learning English or I started to learn English for work. Does it mean the same? Yes, it does. Okay. Do they mean the same? Yes, they do. Okay. I began learning English or I began to learn English. I began learning, I began to learn. Okay. Good. And to finish this part, we can use other uses of the ing forms. Ing forms are often used as the subject of the sentence, like we did at the beginning of the explanation. That we have, for example, drinking water is good for your health, or blaming other people isn't going to help. So I'm using a verb as the subject of the sentence, so I need to use the ing, okay? Prepositions are always followed by ing forms. Losing your home is like losing an old friend. Here, like is not acting as a verb, it's acting as a preposition. So that's why we use ing after like losing. We often use the pattern by plus ing to describe the method that we use in order to do something. We can stop a door from squeaking by putting a little oil onto the hinges. And remember that to is a preposition in the patterns below, so also takes the ing forms. Good. I'm not used to living alone, or we look forward to seeing you in July. Okay. Oh, nice. Is it clear?
A lot of information,
It's a
teacher.
lot of information.
Very a lot.
I know you're like still processing, like, oh my goodness, when am I going to learn this? But there is a no, I mean, as I was saying, it's just it takes practice for sure, because sometimes when we're learning, like for example, when we learn grammar structure, it's like, okay, there is a rule that we need to follow. When we learn the present simple tense, for example, we're like, okay, subject, verb, object, or subject, verb, complement. So we always apply that rule. But with some things in English, there is no rule that we need to, or one specific or particular rule that we always apply. It just takes practice. This is a topic that is not new for you. You are already familiar with the uses of infinitives and ing. But sometimes we kind of like forget about, or we maybe are confused about when to use one, when to use the other. So this information will allow you, or will help you whenever you are confused, or whenever you don't know if you should use infinitives or if you use ing. So people, that's why we're going to do some practice, because I know that this topic needs practice. So let me share an activity that we're going to be working on. And then we can see if you have any other questions. And we can clarify your doubts. Okay. Okay. So we're going to be doing, we are going to do this practice, exercise number 3 and exercise number 4 from my English lab. And we can work individually, and then we're going to check in groups together. So let me show you my screen. Again, we are going to, here, when we are in my English lab, we are going to access Unit 8, that is live and let live. And we're going to the second grammar, okay? Oh no, sorry, to the first grammar. In the first grammar that you see, you can find describing typical habits and infinitives and ing forms. So of course, we're going to click on this, that is infinitives and ing forms. We're going to be working on exercise activity 3 and activity 4. So in activity 3, you are going to, let me share my screen here with the task. So here, there is a person doing a toast with a suitable, we need to complete the toasts with a suitable gerund or present participle or infinitive form. So we see a person there, maybe like in a meeting or in a dinner party, or in, like celebrating something. So we have a person saying like, here's to, and then there's an example, an old friend, someone who remembers all the secrets of your youth, but it's discreet enough And then we have in parentheses mention. So you say if you are using the verb mention with the infinitive or with the ing form. And then if you use it in affirmative or in negative, in this case, it's negative. But it is clear enough not to mention them. So you need to be careful with the word that is before the verb that we need to use. In this case, it's enough. So after enough, or after, let's say, after a preposition or a verb or an adjective, what do we use? Do we use ing? Do we use infinitive? So that is what I want you to do. Then number 2, babies. Babies, they make our days shorter, nights longer, the past forgotten, and the future worth. We have the word, the adjective worth, and then we have the verb live. So should we use worth to live? Should we say worth living for? So how do you conjugate this verb? Okay, so that is exercise number 3 that we're going to be working on. And then when we finish, we're going to be working on activity number 4. I will share the task, which is similar. Okay, can you see the screen with activity number 4? Activity 4?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So in activity number 4, you need to complete the sentences with a preposition, if necessary, if we need to use the preposition, and the correct form of the verbs in brackets. So there is an example. When I was young, my mother always made me say sorry, and then we have the verb pull. So sorry for pulling my sister's hair, okay? Don't be afraid, and then call us if there is anything else you need. We already know this expression, like be afraid, and we know what. We know that we need the preposition of, and then don't be afraid of what? Of
Calling.
very good. So that is what I want you to do, guys. To see if you need a preposition, if it's necessary to complete the sentence, and then the verb either with ing or with the pres or with the infinitive. Okay, good. So in the meantime, while you guys do that, I'm going to do the roll call. Okay, so let me know that you're here once you hear your name. Acevedo Cueva Saray. Saray. Saray, are you here with us? Okay. Saray is not here. Albarracín Caballero.
No, pues sí estoy. Estaba en el baño.
Okay.
Here's teacher.
Okay, Cristian, very good. Ayala Viloria Joeli. Joeli was in the sash. Joeli. Vaca Yaina Andrea.
Present, teacher.
Excellent. Carrera Bonilla John Hammer.
Hello, teacher. Here I am.
Okay, good. Cordero Castellanos Brian. Brian. Brian is not in the session. Okay. Fonseca Garcia Freddy.
I'm here.
Awesome. Liscano Arisa Judy.
Present, teacher.
Very good. Lozada Díaz y Ana Lisette.
Present, teacher.
Awesome. Muñoz Salazar Andrea.
Present, teacher.
Great. Pinzón Linares. Oh, no, sorry. Pérez Ardila Natalie.
I'm here, teacher.
Great. Pinzón Linares Mayra.
Present, teacher.
Very good. Plata Rodríguez, sorry. Rodríguez Llorente Harold.
Hi, teacher.
Okay, very good. Sandoval Miranda Angélica.
Present teacher.
Very good. Sierra Jaimes Daniela.
Teacher.
Good. Velasco Uribe Ana María.
Here teacher.
Good. And Vera Peña Jennifer. Jennifer. Jennifer Jimena. Jennifer is not in the section. Okay. So people, please continue working on the task and then please let me know once you finish with the 2 exercises. Remember exercise number 3 and exercise number 4.
Sorry, teacher. Can you please share a screen about the activity by WhatsApp? Because I'm on my cell phone.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Guys, let me know when you finish the activity, please. Should we check exercise number 1? Well, activity number 3. Should we check this before we go on our break, or do you need more time? What do you think, guys? Do you need more time, or you think that we can check activity number 3 before going on
More
our
time, please, teacher.
more time? Okay. Okay. People, we are going on our break. So we'll continue at 7:42. And after the break, we can check our answers of this activity. Okay, so see you shortly. Okay, people. So time's over, and we're going to continue working on the activities. Okay. So let's check exercise number 3, and then we're going to check exercise number 4. Okay. So let's go. With the second one, babies, they make our days shorter, nights longer, the past forgotten, and the future.
Worth living for.
Worth living for. Yes, very good. So let me write it. Worth living for. Okay, excellent. So after the adjective worth, we use ing. Okay, so worth living. Number 3, happiness. The only thing which is increased by. So we have a preposition.
Sharing.
By sharing. Very good. After a preposition, we use ing. My husband, who buys all tickets 6 months in advance, but wait until Christmas Eve and then buy Christmas presents. So we have a noun here. We have Christmas Eve. So, but wait until Christmas Eve.
To buy.
To buy. Yes, very good. To buy Christmas presents. Number 5, my darling wife. Since I met you, I have known what it is to love someone, what it means for that love, what it means to that love, and then return.
To return.
To, well, for that
No?
love, to, well, actually here it's to be returned, okay? To be returned.
Yes, I got it. Yes, teacher.
To be returned. Okay. To be returned. Number 6, my parents, for preposition for.
Spoiling.
For spoiling, yes. For spoiling me ever since I was a little baby. Please feel free to continue. Number 7, our second marriage. We are so fortunate. Give a second chance at happiness. We're so fortunate. And then we have the verb give.
Giving.
To be, we are so fortunate to be giving. This is passive, okay? This is passive voice. Same thing here with my darling wife. So, and what it means for the love to be returned. So passive voice here. Same thing for number 7, okay? Same thing here. Our second marriage, we're so fortunate to be given a second chance at happiness. Number 8, success. It takes time. And then we have
To be
to be a success. But time is all it takes. Very good. Number 9, we have 2. No, we actually have 3. True love, which we find not by. Then we have looking for, not by looking for a perfect person, but by finding, very good. But by finding an imperfect, an imperfect person in the negative.
Not seeing.
Not seeing, not seeing their faults. And the last one, your retirement. And while you're sitting at home with nothing to do, think of all of us at work. We're sure, and then we have do the same. We're sure.
Doing the same.
We are sure doing the same.
To be doing.
To be doing, yes, to be doing. We are sure to be doing the same. So let's submit. Let's see how it was. Yes, perfect, guys. So here, 100%. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And then we're going to check exercise number 4. The last exercise. Do you finish that? Do you finish that one? Activity 4?
No, teacher.
No, you didn't? Okay. Are you about to finish or you don't think you don't think so? Like how long do you think it's gonna take you to finish exercise number 4? So I can give you like plenty of time.
Teacher, I only have time to do the first one.
You only had enough time to finish the first one? You didn't have time to...
I didn't start the second.
Oh, you didn't start the second one.
In
So
my case, teacher, yes.
okay, in your case. What about the... Thank you for letting me know, Diana. What about the rest? Do you have enough time to finish?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Freddy. What about the rest?
I have finished. Yeah.
Okay. What about the rest? Do you finish or did you finish or do you need more time?
More time, teacher, please.
More time, Andrea? Okay. So let's do something, guys. Since we need to move on, I mean, I'm not saying that this is not important. It is important, but we need to move on to the next activity that we have planned for today's class. Because we need to finish this unit. I mean, we need to finish unit 8. So we are going to do that exercise for homework, and then tomorrow we can take a look at it. What do you think? Does it work? Like, are you good with that?
Yes, it works.
Okay, very good. So we're going to continue because we need to move on. We need to continue with the rest of our session. So we are going to do this exercise. It's reading, and then we are going to be working in groups. Careful with the mics. So we need to, we are going to start reading. We're going to do a reading exercise, and then guys, we are going to work in groups, okay? So we are going to do this reading that is a bluffer's guide to men and women. Before we read the text, we are going to read the quotes that we have here. Can anyone please read the first and the second quote?
The first and the second one.
Yes, please.
I marry beneath me. All women do. My West, 1930s film star. A man in love is incomplete until he's married. Then he's finished. Caesar Gabor, I don't know. Hungarian-born American actor.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much for that. Let's go with the last two. Angelica, can you please read the last two?
Yes, teacher. All women become like their mothers. That is their tragedy. No man does that. It's true. That is his.
That's
Oscar
that
Wilde.
is his.
Oscar Wilde is playwright. My wife and I were very. I'm sorry. My wife and I were happy for 20 years. Then we meet. Sorry, teacher.
No, it's okay. I was laughing at the quote. Okay, I was laughing at the quotes. Yeah.
I thought it was at us.
So, oh my goodness, my wife and I were very happy for 20 years. Then we met, and then we stopped being happy. So that's kind of crazy. That's funny. So you are going to read an extract from a book about men's and women's behavior. Which characteristics in the box below do you associate more with women? Do you associate more with men? Do you associate equally with both? And you think it's impossible to generalize about. So for example, number one, the first one, a tendency to be competitive. Do you associate this with men, with women, with both, or do you think that it's impossible to generalize about?
I think that it depends on the person. It
Okay.
changes a lot. I mean, nowadays, I think that most of the people are very competitive in the work environment to get, I don't know, maybe for the goals that they have set, or for many other examples, but it not depends on the
men
gender,
or women, yeah, on
women
the
or men,
gender. Yeah.
It is the same for both.
For both. Okay. So you say that socially it's associated equally for both, and maybe it's also impossible to generalize about.
Maybe because in the past it was common for men to have this kind of important jobs
Yeah.
that women didn't have the same opportunities that
Yeah.
now they have. They
Yeah.
were not part of these companies. And now we have seen women that are thriving and are empowered.
Yeah,
Managing,
exactly.
like they are like CEO and they are also competitive.
Yes,
So
they
maybe
are.
because of the changes that have occurred during the last years.
Yeah. Very good. Excellent, Freddy. Excellent. What about an ability to ignore mess? What do you think?
I will go for men.
Yes,
Me
in my
too.
opinion, I think that maybe men's are more relaxed than women.
Okay, in
Because
general, yeah.
in general, but as we know, there is one exception, but
Yeah, there are
in
exceptions, of course, but this is more general, like men.
Not all of us, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
not
that.
all of you. But they have, it's an ability to ignore mess. Like they don't care that much. But again, it's general. I mean, it's not like, we're not saying that every single man,
Like a neat freak, women.
Yeah. Yes. What about a lack of self-confidence?
Teacher, it's like Freddy said it's like football. It's dependent on the gender.
It doesn't depend on the gender. Yeah.
It depends on people's experiences.
Yeah,
also.
for sure. So it is impossible to generalize about. Yeah, that's for sure. Impossible to generalize. What about a tendency to nag? What is the meaning of nag? What does nag mean?
give us a clue.
Okay, a clue is for example, it could be an
To bother
opinion.
someone constantly?
Yeah, it could
Maybe?
be like an opinionated person.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Like harassing the person with the same topic over and over?
Women, mothers.
Mothers. Okay, mothers can be nagging, there is a tendency to nag. Mothers, they usually criticize.
Like cantaleta.
Yes, so sometimes they annoy or irritate a person with
With the same topic over and
over and over and over. Yeah, so mothers. But it's because they want the best for us. So
that's true.
Sometimes we don't understand. Sometimes like, oh, you're being annoying, but we sometimes we don't understand what that they want the best for us. So what about an inability to make decisions? Men, women.
No, teachers.
It happens to both.
To both. So you say that
making decisions is
equally
difficult.
with both. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that maybe men used to talk or make decision faster than women.
because maybe we think about the situation in a more or in a deeper way, maybe.
Yes.
Maybe
We-
women are more careful with
Yes.
yeah,
making
with our
decisions. Yeah.
decisions. Yes. Okay. Yes, I agree. What about a love of gadgets?
Men
Men,
stuff.
Man.
Man, yeah.
Okay. A tendency to feel guilty.
Maybe for some women because they can experience
Yeah.
as a mother, for some
Yeah.
of them
To
to
feel
feel guilty
guilty,
for the children.
or sometimes we overthink that too much.
Overthink,
Yeah,
yeah.
we overthink. I mean, I would associate that with more than with like women, because we're like more concerned about certain things that maybe you guys do not think about that much. I mean, in my experience, I'm talking about my experience and my maybe like my sisters and my mom. And sometimes we like feel guilty about certain things that we shouldn't feel guilty about. So yeah. So I would say I'll go for women. I'll go for women here. What about a fear of failure? A fear of failure, sorry.
Everyone,
equality for what?
women
Yeah,
or men,
it's equally, yeah,
are
equally
always
with
fear of
both.
failing at
Yes,
something, at
yes.
work,
Uh-huh. Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
at the goals or
Uh-huh. What about a sense of superiority?
Teacher,
In the
Past it was for men, but
in the past, it was
and
for
it is
men.
still for men
yes,
also.
I totally agree with Freddy because history have show us that men used to be up the top of every aspect of the society. And for that reason, I guess that maybe these thoughts continue in our mind, but this thing
Maybe it's
changing a
like
little
it's
right now.
changing, but okay. Yeah, I agree. What about a fear of commitment? I'll go for men here.
Yeah.
A fear of commitment. I'll go
Women are
for
more commitment for marriage about what they
yes,
want
we
in the
are. We are.
relationship.
Yes, we are. We are. I mean, most or a big number, or I don't want to say like all of us, but because we're not generalized, we're not like saying that every single man or every single woman, but it's just like a general thing. But yes, I would say I would go for women. We sorry, for men. Like I think that as men sometimes they have a fear of commitment. So yeah, I'll go. I don't know about you. Like, what do you think? What do you think?
it's equality with
It's
both.
equal for you. Like for you, Angelica, you think
And
it's
it's for attention, the last one?
no, a fear of commitment.
Ah,
A
fear
fear
of
of
Oh,
commitment,
no,
yeah.
teacher, for last one. But commitment it's more for women, for men.
Yeah, right. Like they fear of commitment. Yeah, I agree. And what about the last one? A need for attention. Do you
In
guys
our
think-
culture, it is more common for women,
Okay,
Mm,
okay.
you know,
for me,
because
it's
of the way we
equality.
have been raised.
The way,
But it is
yeah,
changing, yeah.
yes, yes.
Like maybe women are more fragile and they need more attention. The
Uh-huh.
same, phrases that we have been taught in the past.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, for sure. Or we are maybe it's like, oh, you're a woman, so you need a lot of attention, or you are having a crisis, and then you have your hormones all over your body, and it's that. I mean, people believe that women we have a need for attention, but that's not true. I mean, I mean, I wouldn't say that it's only for women. I think it's for both. I mean, or it's impossible to generalize about. I wouldn't say that women we have a need for attention or men need a need for attention. In the past, it was believed that women that we had a fear of attention, but this has been changing. So now I would say that is with both, or I would say that is impossible to generalize about. So my people, we're going to read these texts, and we are going to, here, as you see, there are some empty spaces, right? We have, for example, number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, we have some here. So we are going to complete the extract with men or men, like singular or plural, or woman or women, singular or plural, okay? Then we're going to compare our answers. We're going to, at the end, I mean, after we finish, we're going to turn to page 108 and we're going to check. Do not go to page 108 yet, okay? Do not go there. So we are going to first try to read the texts and then try to complete it with men or women. Maybe you can write it down. You can have a piece of paper and then write number 1, men or women, singular or plural, okay? And then we're going to check. Is activity clear?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, very good. Okay, excellent. So let's start. I mean, you start individually and then we check. When you guys finish, let me know, please. Okay, ready, guys? You finish the task? Ready or not?
For me, not.
Okay. Okay. Okay, guys, are you done? Do you finish? Guys.
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
So
Yes.
we're going to do
Yes.
okay, excellent. Thank you very much. We're going to do something. I'm going to send you to the breakout rooms. You're going to talk about your answers, and then when you finish reading, when you finish checking your answers, you are going to page 108, and you're going to see if you were right or not. If you answered correctly, or if you guessed correctly, or if definitely not. So maybe you could say, for example, let's say that well, you are in the group, so you say, let's say in my group it's Angelica, Freddy, Diana, and Hatter. So I say, okay, I'm going to read about approval. Women are suckers for approval. They want to feel that men have noticed them and need them. Best of all would be if men admire them. It would also like if they trusted them, but that would probably be asking too much. For example, I said that's my guessing. Maybe Angelica, maybe Freddy, maybe Diana has something different. So you say, oh, I have the same, or no, I have something different. And then you move on to the next one. You say, okay, let's talk about a conversation. And then you start reading. The average man uses 10,000 words a day in speech. The average woman finds 4,000 perfectly adequate, something like that. And then when you finish reading, you go to page 108. You can click here on page 108, and then you check, okay? And that's it, people. So I'm going to send you the breakout rooms. I'm going to be visiting the groups, asking you or helping you in case you need help. So I'm going to create the groups, and you guys are going to join. Okay. And then you can share your screen as well.
shopping. The
24 is
majority of
men.
men, no, women, no, dislike
Okay.
shopping. It not only means spending money, but making snap decisions. They like and share shopping first, studying advertisements and comparing prices before going out and buying a car, a house, or an international corporation. A mega waste of time.
Women and women. Hi, teacher.
Pues,
Hi, teacher.
We
Hello.
have a discussion
We
about
were
the
waiting for
friendship.
you.
Okay, what's your question?
Teacher, we have a question. Can we
Yes.
put in the 19 blank both women and men and women and men?
Friendship. I mean, the text technically is asking you to write either it doesn't mean what you think. It's something that is more like general. Okay. So if there is a tendency for men, for example, friendship is enormously important to men. Men want friends to play with, for
Yeah, but
example, tennis
Mhm.
partners, or as people
Mhm.
with whom to
yes,
watch the World Cup. You see?
Or
correct.
as
Yeah,
women.
so that is more like typical for men, for example,
Yes,
and it's true. I mean, for example, for you, for men, it's more important to have friends, to play soccer or to
yes.
play, for us it's not that important.
Whatever that means, do exercise.
But
yes, teacher.
here,
But my point is in the first phrase, friendship is enormously important too. It doesn't matter if it says women or men.
so for
Because you are going to explain why or the reason why.
I understand. Yeah, I understand. You can definitely put but for both or to both. Maybe the text, the answer at the back of the exercise is going to tell you that it's important to men
Yes,
or
I
for
mean,
women.
Angelica
But
says that
yeah,
is woman, but for me, I mean,
for
has
you,
no
it's both.
meaning. It is woman or is man.
Yeah, for you it's
Because
like for
basically
both.
this oration is like if you erase it from the text, it's
Uh-huh.
gonna have the same meaning.
Uh-huh. Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can definitely use for both to both.
Okay, teacher.
So both.
Yeah, both. Yeah.
Both, yes. And
Then
later we can put
19 both. Y luego 20 men,
men and 21 women.
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 Exactly.
Yeah.
And next is
And next is
men.
both.
Hey, girls. So what's going on here?
Hi, teacher.
Hello. Do you finish?
No, teacher, in my case, I can do the activity because I'm I'm a little busy right now.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. So I'm going to send you to other groups, Ana Maria and Diana and Julie, just for you to listen. I mean, it doesn't matter if you can't work right now, but I'm going to send you to other groups, okay? So that you have the opportunity to listen to the activity, to interact with your classmates. I mean, at least Ana Maria and Diana. Julie, if you can't, then you can at least listen, okay? So I'm going to.
Thank you, teacher. Sorry.
No, it's okay. So Diana, I'm going to send you to group number, and then Julie, group number 1. Okay, go ahead. Okay, people. So time's up. Time's up. How was the text? Freddy said that he found it.
It was interesting, full of stereotypes,
The
but some of the ideas
confusion
were like, we put it in discussion.
a lot of
You know,
stereotypes here. A lot
like
of
sometimes we
stereotypes.
agree on the ideas, and
It
on
was
others we were
interesting.
like, it doesn't matter on the gender. It's
You
for
were like,
both.
yeah, that's a stereotype.
Uh-huh.
That's for that's for sure not true at all. Okay, that was
Yes.
interesting. Okay, my amazing, beautiful, great people. We're finishing right now. So I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna finish our first unit. We're gonna have one activity that is gonna be graded, and then we're going to start with unit 9. I mean unit 9, sorry.
Okay.
So guys, the thing is, my friend from Austria, he's here, right? Remember that we're planning to do that activity. So
Oh, that is going to happen.
I hopefully, like I really hope it happens tomorrow, but guys, because he's leaving on Monday. But the thing is that he's not being well, like he's been sick. Because imagine changing his diet and everything and trying Colombian food, it was like a lot for him to take. So he's not feeling well. And yeah, he's been feeling he's feeling miserable, like honestly, like this couple of days he's just like feeling miserable. So I don't know, I mean, he's so happy, he was so excited about the activity, he was like, yes, let's do it. But then my plan was to do it today. However, today he's feeling horrible. So if tomorrow he's feeling better, we'll do it tomorrow, guys. But I won't promise like anything. Like I'm so sorry that this turned out this way. But I mean, I tried and we tried and we've been trying to make this happen, but he's not feeling well and he feels like horrible. So if he's good tomorrow, we'll do the activity. If not, like, you are going to forgive me, but like I tried, guys, and I'm so sorry to disappoint you. So I'll try, okay? We'll try. Okay.
Okay,
Teacher,
teacher.
what is
Okay, teacher, don't
No, as soon as
worry.
Okay.
you know.
Okay,
Sending
guys.
positive
time?
vibes to
Yeah,
happen
so
tomorrow.
hopefully he's better tomorrow. So I'll let you guys know. Thank you very much. And yes, John, you're raising your hand.
Teacher, and did you have any other friend by any chance?
Another
Don't
friend
you?
by any chance? No, he's the
Yeah,
only one.
because we can look for another guy that can help us. No.
I know, but well, he is the guy that is available, that I asked him first because I knew that he was gonna be available. Um, but he's not feeling good. So if it doesn't happen, I was also thinking about asking a friend from the US. But I mean, it's summertime in the US, so I don't know I mean, I'm thinking about it. Like, I'm thinking about different ways to make it happen because I want this to happen. Like, I'm trying hard to make this happen. I will let you know for sure. And yeah, hopefully he feels better tomorrow and then we can have the activity that I'm sure you're excited. I'm sure you're waiting for it.
I'm sorry, but what if anyone of us has a friend in United States or maybe in another country that can help us? Because I have a friend in Australia, maybe she can help us, but I don't know if that is possible or you want to talk. I don't know. I'm just saying because because